And you're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the New Age Geeks channel. Tonight we have Queer and Present Danger, a high fantasy homebrew D&D campaign made by yours truly, with an all LGBTQ plus cast. A friendly little reminder that here on the New Age Geeks channel we aim to create an all-inclusive space, making everybody feel welcome at our table. Another friendly little reminder is that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us up here on the screen. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in this community that we are building together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you absolutely can. Just make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels and join our Discord, where you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. And chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Another little friendly reminder is that the best way to help us out is with engagement. So we'd greatly appreciate if you'd watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that these platforms know to share us with everybody else. Beyond that, we have posts going up on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. So if you are on those platforms, make sure to follow us for more geeky goodness.
Twitch Prime is free if you already have Amazon Prime. That awards you a 1-month subscription to any channel here on Twitch. Once per month, you do need to go in and resubscribe to that channel at no additional cost. Just link your accounts and click subscribe with Prime on that channel. If you're feeling charitable, subscribe. Perhaps gift subscriptions to others. Cheer using bits, donate via PayPal, check out our merch shop, subscribe to our Patreon, and lastly, if you wish to become a sponsor for the New Age Geeks, reach out to us directly via our Instagram page to begin those discussions.
Speaking of sponsors, if you enjoy the music we have going on here on the New Age Geeks channel, we highly recommend checking out the SonCraft bot. That is SonCraft bot. The SonCraft bot allows you to play open source community selected music and soundscapes directly from your Discord server with only a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use the audio stress-free. With their pro level subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40 plus music genres and 20 plus soundscape types, global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral code NAG, that is NAG, it will get you $2 off of your subscription for the first 3 months. All you need to do to get started is invite the SonCraft bot of your choosing to your Discord server, then just hit play and let SonCraft take care of the rest. And we are also partners with Dragon's Nest Delivery. If you don't know what Dragon's Nest Delivery is, it is a D&D shop with a ton of D&D essentials, including dice, apparel, homebrew adventures, and their Nat 20 card series, which we are using here on QPD, as well as a D&D themed subscription box. Their subscription box includes dice, candy, one-shot adventures, minis, and a bunch of downloadable content as well. So when you go and check out, make sure to use our referral code NEWAGEGEEKS, which is all one word, for 18% off of your order. So, and yes, that even includes the subscription box. So when you go and check them out, make sure to tell them that we sent ya. Announcements for the week.
Cassidy normal.
What?
Cassidy normal.
Tomorrow on Investigation Check, we have Cassidy normal. Same place, same time. And then next week, we are back with Forging Fates on Monday. So make sure to check us out. And just so everybody is aware, this is the season finale of Queer and Present Danger. We will be taking a bit of a break after this. So make sure to stay tuned with our socials to see when we will return. Does anybody else have any announcements for the rest of the week? Nope. Okay. So, without further ado, we can get into tonight's episode of Queer and Present Danger. So, last session was a bit of an intense session, if I do say so myself. After Ashira had fallen in battle, the rest of the Dreamwalkers dealing with the repercussions of such, contemplating and planning and doing everything they can to bring Ashira back. You guys decided to press on to Harrisville, as that was the closest place of residence for you all from your current location. Deciding to press on with your travels, there was no issue. And when you got to the village, it was quiet. Eerily quiet. As you stopped into the inn to check in, the sleepy desk attendant sort of pointing you in the direction of aid at the local nearby temple that seemed to be under construction. You all made your way there, and upon arriving at the temple, you were greeted by a very sleepy Fire Ganassi woman who said she would do her best to help you. And in the midst of you guys bringing in Ashira and her trying to do some either divination magic or healing magic upon her, discovered that Ashira's soul has been trapped or claimed by some other being or entity, that of which you are unfamiliar with. And also during that time, Toby, deciding to cast the Identify spell, discovered that this priestess was under the influence of a mass suggestion spell. And in quick order, dispelling the magic surrounding the priestess, you come to learn that somebody had come in demanding the temple, using it for their own purposes. And after some investigation, found a stairway leading underneath, in which you found this cavernous area glowing with this green ether that you guys had discovered previously, with a few figures standing around and one in the center of this chamber with a box. Toby deciding to catapult the box, leading to the realization that the figure in the center of the room was none other than Dorian. Unaware of what he was doing, you know, the box shattered, revealing 2 necklaces, a ring, and a toy boat. As you all sort of congregate in this area, Dorian seething with rage as you are interrupting whatever he may be doing, just staring at you with heavy, intense breaths. That is where we are picking up. As he lays still hunched over, his hand now on the floor, with his hand being in the center of a bunch of runes that seem to stretch out 10 feet around him.
Can I pick up the toy boat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Does it look intricate? Is it just a toy boat? Like,
it's just a toy boat. It looks a little worn, but from what you can tell, it's just like a toy sailboat.
I don't understand what's happening.
He was casting a spell, Toby. Maybe he needed a tome from his son.
think that's his son's toy boat. Toy boat.
What was the other thing that was also in the box?
There was
Necklaces
also 2 necklaces and a ring.
and a ring.
Since I counterspelled the spell that he was like casting, do you think I could do it like an Arcana check, so I could see if there's a way I would recognize what he was doing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me Arcana.
Nah, that's a 10.
It's hard to tell, at least from this distance. You can't really get a glimpse of the runes that he seemed to have been working with. Whatever it was, you know that it was some high-level, intricate magic.
Yeah, I don't recognize what he was doing, Toby. I think it was something really powerful, though.
He said he was trying to bring her back.
Bring
Which
them
are-
back.
Bring them back?
Yeah, I think
Family?
he's trying to bring his family back.
As you look at him, his eyes glaring at you, you can almost see that flash of red across his irises as he is just staring at you guys, seething.
He looks like he's about to throw a temper tantrum.
That's a good assessment.
I'm sorry.
Sorry? You're sorry.
You can't just be evil in the bottom of a temple like that.
Who said I was being evil? I was trying to bring them back.
By what means?
Any means necessary.
That sounds
Something
evil.
an evil person would say.
And if hurting more people than you help is something that you deem as good, you definitely have your priorities skewed.
What did you do to the townspeople?
I made sure that they wouldn't get in my way. That's all.
And how many people have been harmed by what you're doing right now?
Oh, harmed. None. They're just taking a light nap, if you will.
It's nighttime. They would have been sleeping anyway.
It's taken a while to get here, Toby.
How long were you planning on making them sleep for?
As long as I needed to get this done. But with people keep throwing wrenches in my plans, it takes longer than I assume.
We let you go earlier. We trusted you. You said you weren't going to do any more bad things.
I have not harmed a single person since we last talked. I have been focused on this for a while. I upheld that end of the bargain.
And what are you doing?
Like
Are
I
you doing
said,
something for that bad guy that you were working for earlier? That you
I'm trying
helped to
to
kidnap the princess?
trying to find a workaround.
Are you defecating the temple?
Toby, I think you're using the incorrect term there, but I understand your sentiment.
Yeah, Toby, the right word is
desecrate, but
yeah.
my question comes not in that, is I could care less about politics and religion in that sense of the establishment. My concern is the use of these stones that seem to be having dire effects on the people around.
At the mention of that, I'm gonna take a small one and just kind of like put it in my glove, like try to do it sneakily so that if I try to cast something, I'll have it with me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. As Dorian sort of turns to look at you, Talia, this ether is providing me the power I need to try and work around whatever bargain this being is trying to strike with me.
We've had somebody close to us hurt because of this ether and because of a caster that wielded it. I don't trust it. I don't. In the wrong hands, it can be devastating. And you've yet to give us true reasons to trust you.
I understand. And from the looks of it, I'm sorry about what happened to Ashira. I need you to understand that was not my doing. I never wanted people to get hurt in the efforts of me trying to bring my family back.
So what's this workaround?
With this ether, it should be able to summon my husband and my son directly to me, away from the people that took him, using them as this bargaining chip over my head to do their bidding.
Do you know if they're alive? How do you know you're gonna... How do you know who you're bringing back?
What's the
It's
risk?
in pure faith.
What was this entity telling you to do that's scarier than that?
A far older, ancient entity that is very, very mad.
What if they come back instead of your family?
Then I don't know.
What did he want you to do?
He was locked behind this divine gate. And if there was less security around said gate, it would be easier for him to manipulate his way back. And the only way to manipulate divine presence is by attacking what they held dearest.
Temple.
Temples hold an obscene amount of energy around them. Magically, divinely. There's obviously a lot of magical influence surrounding them.
So the
And
temple
if
was
you
to help
can-
you cast this? What's...
I'm not using it for him. I'm not.
Then what does he hold dear?
My family.
I get that. I get
Oh.
doing anything for your family. I really do.
Do you?
But don't you think that in using the power that this temple holds and lowering its defenses so that you can use it makes way for this being anyways, and you're playing directly into his hands?
Judgment calls aren't made very well in acts of desperation.
I understand that. Also, if there's one thing that I have learned from my studies, is that sometimes the sacrifice of what is important to you for the greater good of the kingdom or the world is the call that you have to make. It's a hard call to make. One that I didn't fully understand until going on this adventure with these people, these friends. But sometimes giving up the thing that you love in order for the greater good is just the decision that we have to make as leaders.
The greater good, you say. I have never loved anything more than my family, and I'm just supposed to give them up for the greater good.
I know it sounds impossible. It sounds like the most ridiculous choice in the world. But if we don't, then so many more people will be harmed, and so many more people will lose the things that they love dear. If the chance of bringing your family back, whether it works or not, if it also brings back this entity into our world and destroys even 10, 20, 1,000 other families, Is that something that you can live with on your heart, knowing that you have put that many people in the pain that you are feeling right now?
You see he stops for a second as emotions begin to overwhelm him.
Bloom is starting to cry. She's like getting emotional as well. And she's gonna, while he's gonna respond to Talia, she's gonna start walking towards him and put her arms out and offer him a hug.
As he's looking at Talia, this mixed expression of anger and sadness. Again, you can read that desperation on his face. My husband, my son, gave me purpose here.
I understand that. Sometimes things that we think are our purpose in life change over time due to the circumstances that we're in. Family and loved ones are always with us. They're always a part of us, whether they are here or not. And new people come into our lives that become just as important and give us just as much purpose. And we have to think about when we're in a position of power, in a position of decision making, we have to think about not only those people that give us purpose, but those people that will give us purpose in the future, and those people that give the people around us purpose in their lives as well.
He sort of turns to look at you, Bloom, and just raises a hand up to sort of stop you in your tracks.
Bloom's gonna pick up Wither. I have more in common with you than you think, Dorian. But holding Wither helps. I think you might understand. If you won't hold me, hold Wither. We can help you. Let us help you.
Again, his hand sort of outstretched towards you. He is going to attempt to cast Detect Thoughts on you, Bloom. That is a wisdom saving throw.
Can I make a perception check to look around the room at the other people?
What are you trying to discern?
1, are they doobie floobers? 2, are they waiting for instruction, or are they about to act?
Okay. I would say give me an insight check.
Okay.
Can I just counterspell that Detect Thoughts?
Yeah,
third level.
absolutely. With ease, the spell dissipates.
Your eyes are gonna glow red when she does, or not red, purple when she does that. You have to trust me, Dorian. We have more in common than you think. Please, let us help you. I'm sorry what happened. I've made mistakes too. Some more recent than you might think. For the people that we love.
Toby?
16.
16. It's hard to discern whether or not they're doppelgangers or not, but from what you can tell, they've all sort of frozen in their tracks and are waiting for instruction.
And how many are there?
There's 4 total.
Cool.
1 at each corner of the room.
That is of arcane significance. Okay, carry on.
As Dorian continues to look at you, Bloom. Again, you can almost smell the desperation off of him. If you understand what I'm going through, if you truly feel the pain that I feel, why aren't you doing everything in your power to get them back?
I'm doing more than you think I am. And I'm gonna just lunge into a hug. And if I have to do a melee attack to make that happen, I will. I don't know if that's like... I don't want him prone, but I'm just gonna latch on and hug him with Wither kind of between he and I.
Like aggressive kid hugs.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a melee attack. And I will attempt to make a strength or a dexterity saving throw to dodge this or break out of this.
Okay. Melee, it's minus your strength, right?
Plus or minus your...
No.
I will allow either strength or dexterity.
That's a 3.
Well, that's okay because he rolled a natural 1.
That's funny. Okay. That's
Get
wild.
loved, scrub. Get absolutely cherished.
Even a necromancer is better at loving. I love it.
So you lunge at him and sort of take him in this hug. As he hasn't embraced you back, his arms are still up. You can feel his heartbeat just pounding in his chest. And you can hear his heavy breaths as he is obviously worked up. He is obviously very anxious in this moment. And he is almost acting as if he doesn't know what to do in this situation.
You're supposed to hug her back.
Bloom was like already crying when the conversation from earlier was happening, but like full tears are coming down. And she's just gonna say, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Can I get a group persuasion roll really
Do
quickly,
what?
please?
Yes, you can.
We'll start with Talia.
Yeah, 28.
Oh my god.
Okay. Toby.
Dirty 20.
Okay. And Bloom.
12. She's just like really nasal from all the crying, and then like on top of that she's like kind of like her face is just smushed.
Where shall we?
In this moment, as Bloom, you are gripping around him, and Toby and Talia are sort of still standing back. You just see him hesitantly place a hand on the back of Bloom's head as tears begin to stream from his face as he slowly begins to sob as well.
It's okay to let it out.
As he begins sobbing, you see him sort of reach a hand towards the ground. As he sort of leans over a little bit. And you can still see a faint green aura emit from his hands. I'm really sorry. I just don't know what else to do.
There are things out there that beings that wait for people to feel like that. And then they take advantage of you, and then you feel like it's your fault, that everything is bad. And they're the ones that make you feel like there's nothing else you can do other than help them or make other people suffer. And I think it's time we stop listening to beings. And I think we need to stick together. Maybe we can help each other. We can help you.
As Bloom's saying this, I'm going to kind of, in a kind of flourished, dramatic fashion, leap towards them and intertwine my fingers with his. Or try to grab his hands and...
Okay, go ahead and make me a dexterity check. Just flat dexterity.
Straight X. 17.
Okay. As you sort of leap forward and try to interlace your hand with his, you manage to do so, but you can feel him like trying to pull away, as you can feel this magical aura just emitting off of his hand. It feels cold and begins to creep up your forearm.
I'm just going to grasp his hand a little bit tighter and look him dead in the eyes. You don't want to do this. Be a leader. Be a hero. Don't hurt others for your own good. The true definition of a hero is sacrifice. How do you want to be remembered?
I never said I wanted to be a hero. I just want them back.
If you won't be a hero, that makes you a villain. And I'm going to shove up on his arm and try and shove him over.
Okay. In a momento. He is going to try and resist it. So he's going to make either a strength or a dexterity saving throw. And with that shove of your hand, you manage to knock him over completely, with Bloom still on top of him, hugging him. As he is now prone.
As that happens, as he goes over, I'm going to reach down on my belt. I'm going to grab my dagger, and I'm going to point it directly at his chin.
His hands immediately go up on either side of his head as he is staring daggers directly at you.
I told you, you had a choice. This is what you choose?
You can find another way.
As he's staring between the two of you, his eyes going back and forth. What is Toby doing in this moment?
Toby is calculating. I'm still standing in the entryway of the room. I see 4 people in the corners. I see Talia and Bloom engaging with D. And the 4 people aren't moving. They're waiting for something, or they can't move, or they're mindless creatures, but I don't trust them. And I don't trust D. And I'm waiting for something to start so that I can take another step.
As I have this pressed tip just against the soft part of the underpart of his chin, it's the new dagger that I've got.
Mm-hmm.
I just look him in the eyes. I go, you are a man of magic. I know you know what this does. I will give you one last chance to come back from this. Or I, in the position of leadership and power that I now hold, will be forced to shove this through your soft palate. Don't want to have to do that. But sometimes sacrifices are made for the greater good.
Go ahead and roll me intimidation. I will say that this intimidation check is at advantage.
Uh, 19.
Okay. You notice as you have the dagger held at the tip of his chin, a smile, a hysterical smile begins to creep across his face. I appreciate your efforts. I really do. As he reaches a hands up and slams it on the ground.
As he does, I'll thrust forward.
Go ahead and make me a melee weapon attack. With it's a +1 bonus.
Yeah. 16. That'd be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. Sorry,
New weapons, new fun stuff.
Yeah. So that would be a 4. And then
Plus your dex.
plus dex 4, 7.
And as you begin to thrust forward, he turns his head just so it's barely a nick on his neck. And at this point, I will need you all to roll initiative.
With the hit roll on that dagger, is it the roll on the dice or is it after?
It is the roll on the dice.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
All right. Talia, what did you roll?
8.
Toby.
16.
And Bloom.
15.
All right. Top of the initiative, Dorian is going to go first. As you see his hand begin to illuminate with this dark, sort of green magic, his hand slams down on the ground next to him and begins to ignite the runes surrounding him.
Counterspell.
What level?
3rd.
Okay, you're gonna have to roll.
Do I add anything to the roll?
Oh, you add your spellcasting modifier.
23.
So, as he begins to mutter an incantation and slam his hand on the ground, Toby, with quick reaction, you begin to dispel it, and you can see him shoot daggers towards you with his eyes. Please, just let me do this.
Point of note, that puts me at 3 glowing scutes.
Okay.
On my back.
Which will then bring us to Toby with Bloom on deck.
Okay. 1 counterspell in place. After that, I'm going to do.
Give me 1 second. I'll still be listening, but just I'll be right back.
With a flourish of the wand, I'm going to flourish of the wand and holding a piece of ether. I'm going to spin a circle around my head, and 6 flaming turtle shells are going to appear around me as I cast Melf's Minute Meteors. And circling my head. None of them are going to fire off this turn. But I am going to move diagonally and try and get partial cover if I can.
Okay, is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, that will bring us to Bloom with Talia on deck.
Great. It's become suddenly very aware that I am just on top of him, and he's mad. So, in a desperate act to try to get up safely, I am gonna bite his arm, and cast
Okay.
Unholy Kiss. It's just gonna be a bite instead.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
That is a con save.
Oh, a con save.
Yeah, 14.
He saves.
Ah, fuck. All right. Well then.
Does it still do half damage? Or is it...
No, it's basically, I was trying to stun him because it has like a secondary effect. Because I don't really have a good way of disengaging at this kind of situation. I think I'll just attempt. I don't know if he used his reaction yet, but we'll figure it out. I'm just gonna have my movement to like get my ass up. If I can do that. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Standing up is not going to provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, but I'm squishy. So I am actually I'll stay here. I'm gonna stay here. But I'm gonna put Wither back on my back.
Okay. Talia, that will bring us to you.
All right. I'm going to attack with both of my daggers.
Okay, and he is still prone, so you do have advantage.
Oh. Okay. It's 19 and 24.
24 will hit.
Okay.
Was that 2 separate attacks or the same attack once?
It's 2 separate attacks.
Okay, then both of them will hit.
I have the two weapon fighting.
Okay.
And then I get sneak attack damage on one of those, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh. All right. 6 and 4 and then 16. Six and 4 and 16 on the sneak attack.
So 26 total damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You slice at him with your daggers, cutting into him as he lets out this grunt of pain. Which will now bring us to the cultist's turn. One of them is going to move towards Toby. And make a dagger attack against you. I'm assuming a 9 will miss.
Correct.
He's going to make one more attack against you. And that one will also miss.
Yeah, just stop. Don't do that.
This one is going to move towards Bloom. And this one is going to move towards Talia. Bloom, a dagger attack coming against you. Which will miss. And Talia, that will also miss. These guys suck. And
Good.
this one is going to come over here and also make an attack against Talia. For a dirty 20 to hit. Assuming a 20 will hit you, Talia.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and take 7 points of piercing damage.
And that is halved because of uncanny dodge reaction.
Okay. And then the cleric that you guys were with is going to go, and she is going to position herself next to Toby. Excuse me, I have to get her stat block up. Because you guys had said last session that you would have preferred support from her, correct? Rather than attack.
Yeah.
Okay. She's just going to position herself behind you, Toby.
Okay.
Which will bring us to Dorian's turn. Talia, you see he begins to take a hand out and reach out towards you. And he is going... I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
What'd you get?
Oh, it's a 5.
Oh,
He
no.
begins to cast Hold Person, and you are now paralyzed. And he begins to... He takes a second. And we will move on to Toby with Bloom on deck.
Alright, so first things first. I need the guy in front of me to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's going to be a 13.
That is a fail as I cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Oh, 2 8s. That's 16 thunder damage. And he is pushed 10 feet away from me.
You said 13 damage?
16.
16? And he's pushed 10 feet backwards?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get
Okay.
an opportunity attack, do I?
This
No,
is
you
just the
don't.
guy in front of me.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I forgot he was way down there.
But bonus action, I'm gonna launch 2 meteors. Just to the right of Dorian and the dude, so that the explosion will catch both of them, but not either of my friends.
Okay. And do they have to make saves for that? Or you roll a hit?
Dexterity saving throw.
Okay. The guy above him rolls an 8. And Dorian rolls... a 29.
Alright, so Dorian will have saved, meaning he takes half damage, and the other guy fails, means he takes full damage. The first one of the lights of my scute is gonna poof into a mini explosion as it explodes, dealing an extra 4 points of force damage, but its 8 points of fire damage, and then the second one does 6 points of fire damage. So 8, 4, and 6 is 18, and 9 for Dorian.
Okay. Anything else for you,
Mhm.
Toby?
I'm trying to break his concentrations, so does that damage affect his hold person?
I will roll a concentration check. And he saves.
Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. Which will bring us to Bloom with Talia on deck.
Right. I'm gonna take my staff and point it at him and say, "You gave us no choice. I'm sorry." And I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness at
Okay.
level 2.
Is that a save or do you roll the hit?
I rolled a hit, but I don't think I got that one. Yeah, that's a 13.
13 will miss, unfortunately.
What? Bogus.
Yeah.
Should be able to
Alright,
hit this guy with a
Dorian.
10.
I know. I'm like, right. See, it's like a Mulan. He was right there. How could you miss? All right. Well, there's that.
Right. And Talia, you are paralyzed. Let me double check something really quick. You can make another wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn. So, if you would like to try and break out of this, please make another wisdom saving throw. You're muted.
I will, but I can still cast, correct?
I don't think so. I'd have to double check the paralyzed condition.
I think
No,
specifically
because
with...
it's at the end of the turn.
Oh, so
With-
at the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom throw.
Okay, I thought I looked up that when you're in hold person...
You are incapacitated.
A character can cast spells while under the effect of hold person as long as they are not a spell that requires concentration.
That's the person who cast the spell.
So you cannot take actions or reactions. So I believe you are just paralyzed for this turn. But if you want to make another wisdom saving throw to try and get out of it.
Okay. $17?
17 will not succeed. Unfortunately.
The hell's the DC on this spell?
Anyways.
Uh,
It will bring us to the cultist turn. This guy is going to, again, try to make his way to Toby and make another dagger attack.
cut it out.
Which will miss, because my dice hate me tonight for some reason. This one is going to make an attack against Bloom, which will also miss. And then the two next to Talia are going to make 2 dagger attack. I forgot they get 2 attacks. So Toby, that one will also miss. Bloom, that one will hit you. For 6 points of piercing damage. And then Talia, that one will hit. That one will miss. That one will hit. And that one will miss. So I believe that was only 2 hits against you.
Yep.
One is 6 points of piercing damage. The other is 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it will bring us to the cleric, who will cast Healing Word on Aaliyah. Where's my other D4?
It's over there.
Ah. Talia, you will receive 15 points of healing.
Thank you.
And will bring us to Dorian's turn as he once again tries to summon this magical energy within him and slam his hand onto the ground. And that will be his action. As the lights of the runes underneath his hands begin to glow as he begins to cast this spell. Which will bring us to Toby with Bloom on deck.
Ignoring the dude in front of me. My action is going to be casting. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? My computer's going so slowly. I'm sorry. Magic missile at Dorian.
Okay.
3 glowing darts, which look like turtle shells. Shoot out and hit him all at once. And another scoot is going to explode off my back. 4, 3 is 7, and 4 is 11, plus 4 is 15 points of damage.
Okay.
All force damage. And then bonus action, I'm going to launch 2 more of my my flaming turtle shells at him. And the guy behind him. They need to make dexterity saving throws again.
Okay. Dorian rolls a 20, and the guy in front of him rolls a 12.
Alright, so once again, Dorian saves. The guy behind him does not. Guy behind him takes 16 points of damage. Dorian takes 8. And that is fire damage, if that makes a difference. And with the 15 and the 8, this is concentration break.
With the 15 damage, his concentration breaks.
Yes.
But
Khalid
you
is
also
no-
knock the guy
Ow!
in front of him completely unconscious.
Good. That's my turn.
All
So
right,
I bang
that
my
will
elbow
bring us
against the door.
to Bloom with Talia on deck.
All right. So, seeing that the staff didn't work, she's thinking maybe I'm too close. So I need to maybe do something a little bit different. So I'm just gonna, looking at his green kind of auraed hand, I'm gonna take my hand that currently has the I forgot what it's called, the ether, like in the glove of it, and is he still on the floor? Did he get out of being prone
He
yet?
is still prone.
He's still prone. I'm gonna crouch over him and just put my hand like directly on his face and cast Vampiric Touch with the ether in my glove.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
Okay. So, oh right, because he's prone, I
You have advantage.
have advantage. Okay, 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
And for your damage, go ahead and roll an extra d6.
Okay. Come on. There we go. Oh, wait, that's... I still need one more. Uh, 14.
Okay. You press your hand onto his face and you can see that black magical energy sort of trickle like veins along his face as he begins to scream out in pain. Anything else on your turn?
Can I look at the runes? Would I have any semblance of a clue of what he's trying to cast?
Go ahead and give me Arcana.
Okay. 10.
The most you can gather is its conjuration runes.
Oh.
He's trying to conjure something.
Ooh. Okay. That's fun. Love that. Love that for him.
Anything else on your turn?
I'll just pop into Talia and Toby's head with either the ring for Toby and then my awakened mind for Talia, and just let them know he's trying to conjure something. Quick! I don't know what's gonna happen. I tried. Oh wait, he took damage, right? So
Yes.
did he lose concentration? By chance?
He succeeds.
Ah, fuck. All right. I just realized I regain health from that. I forgot that happens. It was I'm trying to remember how much damage I did to him. Was it 14?
Yes, you did 14.
Okay, so I get 7 back. Okay, that's it.
All right. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
All right, Talia, that will bring us to you.
Am I still held?
Nope. He lost concentration on old person.
I thought so. Okay. So is he still on the ground?
He is, yes.
All right. So I am going to attempt to plunge both of my daggers into him again.
All right, go ahead and roll with advantage.
One is a 19 and the other is a 17.
Both will hit.
The 24 normal damage and 4 psychic.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Which will bring us to the cultist's turn. Again, 2 dagger attacks coming against you, Toby. One of those will hit
What?
for
My armor class
7
is a
points.
17.
And it is an 18 on the die.
No. You
For
butthead.
7 points of piercing.
Okay. Ouch.
2 dagger attacks coming against you, Bloom. Both of which will miss. And 2 dagger attacks coming against you, Talia. First one will miss. Second one will hit. For 6 points of piercing damage.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay. Which will then bring us to the cleric's turn with Dorian on deck. And she will summon a spiritual weapon. Which will go on the other side of Dorian. And I believe that gets an attack. which will... Ooh, that'll hit.
And it does 80 bajillion damage.
Close. It does 11 damage.
Oh, it's right there.
She'll bring us to Dorian, which he's going to use half of his movement to stand up. Still keeping concentration on the spell that he is currently casting. But he's going to use his action to fire an Eldritch Blast at you, Toby.
Me? What? Why?
Should be a 21 to hit.
Shield.
Shield.
Yeah.
Okay. Which makes your armor class
So
now...
+5. So 17 plus 5 is 22.
Okay.
Right?
He
Math?
does
Yes.
get 4 Eldritch Blasts, though.
Oh,
Second one will miss.
Yeah, it's a 22 armor class. He can try. I'll allow it.
Third one will miss. And the fourth one is a 23 to hit,
Son of a gun. Alright.
which will be 8 points of force damage.
What?
Which will then bring us to Toby with Bloom on deck.
Hang on. Wait. This guy in front of me is annoying me. So once again, I'm going to cast Thunderwave. Please make a Constitution save.
That'll be a 15.
That fails. And he takes 13 points of thunder damage and is put 10 feet away.
Toby, how do you want to do this?
Just concussive force, just knockback.
Alright.
And then man, I still have 2 more flaming turtle shells. So I'm gonna launch the last 2 at Dorian. But behind him, and to the right, so that it won't catch my friends, but if it catches the weapon, I'm not as concerned. Please make a dexterity save.
It's a 22.
Damn it. Half damage. 6 points after the halving.
Okay.
Fire damage. And I no
Anything
longer
else for
have
your
any turtle shells. Yeah, I'm just gonna move to the other side of the cleric to get a better vantage point. That's my turn.
Alright, that'll bring us to Bloom with Talia on deck.
Alright. Still got my vampiric touch up. So, no, while Dorian is standing, my hand is still gonna be on his face until I can't reach his face anymore. But I am gonna, like, basically grab onto his shirt right where his heart is and just keep my hand there as best as I can and do it again.
Okay, roll to attack.
That's a nat 20.
Okay. Nat 20, as a reminder for damage, it is max damage, and then you roll.
Yeah, is it another d6 again?
Plus another d6, yes. So that'll be another max d6 plus what you roll.
Okay. So that's 24
Plus what you roll.
Right. $19.
So 24 plus 19.
Yeah.
So I believe that is
43 points of
43.
damage? That's insane. Good job.
He is looking rough.
The whole time she's just still
Why is
gonna
he
be
looking
saying,
anything?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just repeatedly. And still crying.
Is the rune thing a concentration spell?
Oh, I should roll concentration. He rolls a natural 20 on concentration.
Wow. All
Hit.
right. La dee da. Very
Sees your natural
concentrated.
matches and is focused.
Dorian, with his focus and his
Singular in his mission to bring back his family.
the 4 Eldritch blasts.
Anything else for you, Bloom?
Yeah, I'm gonna use Arcane Recovery. Fuck that. I don't think I need an action for that. At least it says in parentheses, no action. Oh, it's when I finish a short rest. I didn't read. Neat. Never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll just take a nap.
That just good night. No, but Bloom is like shaking and her eyes are very purple and you could tell she definitely does not want to kill Dorian, but you know, she is grasping the moral turmoil that they're in right now. She's practically like even though she has like the green stone in her hand, it's definitely glowing purple. It's getting brighter. And she like basically doesn't have any more health during a game, but she can still feel his vitality like going into her.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, that'll bring us to Talia.
I'm gonna attack with my daggers again.
Go for it. They are at advantage because you are flanking with the spiritual weapon.
It's a dirty 20 and a 24.
Both will hit.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Tear him to shreds.
$23 regular damage and 3 psychic.
Okay. You strike at him and he is not looking good. Which will bring us to the cultist's turn. Again, 2 dagger attacks coming towards you, Bloom,
All right.
as he
Come at me, bro.
positions himself right here. One is going to hit for 7 points of piercing. And 2 attacks coming at you, Talia. First one will miss. Second one is a natural 20. For 11 points of piercing damage.
Am I still able to dodge on a nat 20?
You can uncanny dodge, so 11 reduced to 5. And then that'll be it for the cultist's turn. The cleric from before sort of looks to you, Toby, like, what do you want me doing right now?
Take him out.
All right,
He's too
I'll do my
dangerous.
best. And she is going to cast. You see her hands begin to light up with this divine energy as she begins to cast Guiding Bolt at Dorian. Which will hit. And I don't have enough d6s for this roll. So.
Nice.
For 25 points of damage.
Okay.
And Dorian is not looking good in this moment.
But he's lit up like a Christmas tree.
And that will, and then a spiritual weapon attack,
Mm-hmm.
which will hit and do an additional 8 points of damage. Which will bring us to Dorian's turn, as he is maintaining concentration on this invocation that he is casting right now. He does not want to lose this. So what is he going to do? you notice him start to whisper to himself. Talia, you're the biggest issue right now, so I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
$12.
That is a fail, as he casts Dissonant Whispers.
Wisdom is not a strength of mine.
As you take 30 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
That is not something that I can dodge, is it?
As you have already used your reaction, no.
Didn't think so.
And he's going to use his bonus action to teleport.
Holding his shirt. No.
counterspell.
It's not a spell.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where's he going?
He's just moving 10 feet or 15 feet up.
Oh. Good.
As his hand is still glowing with this energy, it will bring us to Toby. Dorian's looking rough. However, your friends are also still targeted by these two cultists.
With all due respect to my friends, they were too close to him before. But he moved away. And now I cast Storm Sphere.
Okay.
It is a 20-foot radius. So I'm going to center it slightly on the other side of him from myself. Each creature in the sphere, when it appears, or that ends its turn there, must succeed on a strength saving throw. Or take bludgeoning damage. The sphere's space is difficult terrain.
He is going
Please
to attempt to counterspell you.
Okay. It is a 4th level spell.
And he's counting counterspell at 3rd level. For a 15 to counterspell.
So it gets cancelled. In that case,
I don't know how to delete the circle.
it's alright. I'm gonna take a few steps forward. And then, just as I enter melee range with the guy next to Bloom, I'm going to disappear in a cloud of mist and reappear on the other side of Dorian.
Okay.
As I cast Misty Step as my bonus action. But I am in melee range with Dorian. That's my turn.
Okay, that'll bring us to Bloom.
Alright. I'm gonna use my movement to move myself here, because that means
Okay.
Toby will be flanking me.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yup, it will. Let's fuck me up.
Which will hit
Fuck. Alright.
for 7 points of piercing.
Alright. Let me just maintain concentration. Let's see, please. Ooh. That's a 9. Alright. Vampiric touch ends. That ruined my plan, but I'm still gonna do it. Or do yeah. Let's do the fancy thing again. I'm gonna recast Vampiric Touch at 4th level.
Okay.
He already used his reaction. Boom.
Correct.
Get fucked. Okay. Respectfully. And then wait, because Toby is flanking, is that
Advantage.
yeah, okay.
Advantage and automatic natural 20 plus 50 billion damage.
It's not bad though. That's a 26 to hit.
That will hit,
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
So that means I get 5d6. Let's fucking go. I have to get more, which is always a good feeling, but Bloom feels bad. So, okay. Okay, so that is 17 damage.
Okay. Anything else for you? As he is still looking rough.
So, the way Bloom is going to do this is she's going to walk up and wrap her arms around him again. And she's going to hug the vitality out of him. Like purple like aura is basically just going to like start like siphoning out of his body and into mine so that I can regain a little bit of health. So that's 9, I believe.
Yeah.
She's still crying and apologizing the entire time because she knows that he just loves his family and she feels bad. Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna use all the strength she can, which is not a lot, to just like keep holding him as purple aura starts to grow bigger and hopefully encapsulate him a little bit as he grows weaker.
Okay. That'll bring us
That's my turn.
to Leah.
I'm going to move up. And
That will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Moving into his space, Will?
Moving out of the melee range of the cultist.
Aha, okay.
For a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
No, it won't. I cast Toby's shield shell.
Okay, Toby, do you want to describe what this is?
As I see Talia moving towards us and the strike about to hit, I throw up my hands, and the spell I made after seeing Shira go down, a spectral barrier of magical force shaped like a turtle shell will appear and protect one ally, Talia. And until the start of my next turn, Talia has a +5 bonus to AC, including against the triggering attack, and they take no damage from magic missile.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that won't hit then.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I glide up to the front of him and strike at him with my daggers again.
Okay.
Oh, did he break concentration when I hit him? I just realized.
Oh, let me go ahead and roll.
Sorry.
No, you're good. He maintains concentration. He's got a high concentration check. What can I say?
Boo.
You
So
can
stupid.
say you rolled a natural 1.
I could say that, but then I'd be lying.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm just being a brat. Fuck him up, Talia.
$23 and $21.
Both will hit. Actually, he's gonna cast shield.
Does he have a reaction left?
No. Oh wait, no, because he counterspelled your storm sphere.
Ah. Nice.
Anyways,
You want?
so both will hit.
$26 regular and $4 psychic.
Leah, how do you want to do this?
So as I glide up to him, stick one tip of one dagger into his gut and the other one into the small of his chin. I thrust forward and I say, sometimes a leader just has to make sacrifices. I'm sorry. And I thrust forward.
I'd like to specify Bloom is no longer hugging him at this point.
Leah, you thrust your daggers into him and you see the tears streaming down his face as his body begins to collapse to the ground. And just want to check in. Do we want to take a break? Or do we want to just keep going? Just a quick question.
Good either way.
Either is fine.
I'm good either way.
Okay, because I'm
You
just going to
haven't-
keep going.
You have an ad starting in 15 seconds, so go to break.
Okay, so we are just going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, and then we will hop right back into the action. We will see you all shortly.
You're live.
And we're back. As Talia strikes down Dorian, we are still left with 2 cultists in our midst, which will bring us to their turn. One is going to move up towards you, Talia, and the other moving towards Bloom. 2 attacks each coming your way. Talia first. One of those is a natural 20. For 12
Remember
points
that you
of...
still have... Sorry, remember that you still have a +5 to your AC.
So, Talia, you still take 12 points of piercing damage. On the first one.
But I can dodge on this one, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that'll reduce it to 6. And then the second attack misses. And then Bloom, 2 attacks are coming your way. First one is going to hit
I'll
for
hellish
8
rebuke.
points of piercing.
Okay. I'll take the 8, but I don't know if I wait for the second attack to hellish rebuke or if I could do it now.
You can do it now. It won't matter if you do it on the first or second attack.
Okay.
Because the second attack also hits.
Okay, they have to do a dex save.
Okay. The second attack deals 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And they fail their dexterity saving throw.
Alright, with the ether, do I add another d10?
Correct.
Okay. This was a 2nd level, so that means it's... Okay. Ow. Okay. $32.
How much?
32.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, I rolled 2 9s and 2 7s. Yeah, purple flames are just coming right out of her. With all of this pent up frustration that they had to kill Dorian.
Okay. Which will bring us to the cleric's turn, who's going to 10, 15, 20, 25. Is going to cast Healing Word on Talia. For 15 points of healing. Which will then bring us to the top of the initiative. Dorian is down. Toby, it is your turn. And you are muted, by the way.
Yep. Yippity yep. They are not in a line with each other without affecting Bloom. They are too far apart for that. The one exclusively over Bloom, I'm gonna shoot with magic missile.
Okay.
Burning my last first level spell slot.
Bloom, you are on deck, by the way.
Ten points of force damage.
Okay, he is on death's door.
Damn it. That's my turn.
All right, that'll bring us to Bloom with Talia on deck.
Oh, I need to check my concentration. Just remember that. Nat 1. All right. In that case, I'm going to I'm gonna hit him with a unholy kiss, the one that's closest to me. I'm just gonna take the cultist gently by the hand, because it's the closest thing to my short little body. I'm just gonna stare up at him and kiss the top of his hand and try to essentially drain the rest of his life out.
Okay.
That's a con save, DC 14.
Which he fails.
Okay. Do they take an extra D6 from the ether?
I'm just gonna say, how do you want to do this, Bloom?
Fair
Because
enough.
he had 2 hit points left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Now she's just gonna very gently and stoically just kiss the top of their hand, and as they start going down, she's just gonna not let go of his hand until she feels it go limp.
You feel his
Um,
hand
Oh, sorry.
goes limp as his body sort of starts to desaturate from this unholy kiss and falls and crumples to the floor.
Is he a caster by chance?
He was not.
Okay. Well, he's stunned until the next turn. I don't think it matters.
No.
That'll be it for me.
All right, that'll bring us to Talia.
I'm going to yank my daggers out of Dorian and whip around and shove them into the cultists behind me.
All right, go ahead and roll your attacks.
$18 and a nat 1.
The 18 will hit, the nat 1 will miss.
question is, do I still get the sneak attack damage on the one that hits?
Yes, because Bloom is within 5 feet of them.
$14 and 1 psychic.
Okay. Which will bring us to the cultist turn. Seeing as their situation is not so dire, they are going to go out with a bang, as they should, and make 2 more attacks against you, Talia. Or sorry, 1 attack against Talia, 1 against Bloom. 18 to hit you, Talia.
Am I still under the shell or no?
No.
Then that will hit.
Okay. That'll be 5 points of piercing.
And I will dodge to reduce.
The second one is going to miss Bloom.
Okay. Awesome.
Which will bring us to the cleric's turn, where the spiritual weapon will make an attack against the cultist, which will hit. An additional 8 points of damage, which will bring us to top of initiative. Okay. Toby, it is your turn.
How's he looking?
Who? Oh, the cultist?
cultist.
He's looking pretty rough, but he's not, like, on death's door.
Okay. Looking around, I'm gonna spot a cluster of ether. I'm gonna point at a small rock in that cluster. I'm gonna flick it at him as I cast Catapult
Okay.
with my
That's a
second level
saving throw?
spell slot. It is a dexterity saving throw.
Which he fails.
Okay. Where are my d8s? Rolled twice. Okay. 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, now he is looking bloodied.
Damn.
Which will bring us anything else for your turn.
No, that's it.
Okay, it'll bring us to Bloom with Talia on deck. You're muted, by the way.
Oops. Sorry. I'll just do the same thing that I did to the other cultist. But this time I'm just gonna pull his hand. Try another unholy kiss on save 14.
But she fails.
Alrighty. So 10.
Bloom, how do you want to do this?
I'm just gonna kind of like with the other cultist, but maybe a little less gentle because he's basically the last person that we need to take care of before this fight is finally over. She's sick of this. She wants to just have this fight be done with. She's seen Talia going up and down and up and down. Constantly getting hit and being healed and being hit and getting healed. So she just, like, as soon as she starts to see that this cultist is, like, not able to resist her enough, she's just gonna, like, tighten her hand on his hand a little further and just keep squeezing as hard as she can while he's slowly crumpling down to the floor. She's gonna squeeze harder and harder.
As you squeeze harder and harder into this person's hand, as the life sort of begins to drain out of them, they crumple to the floor. And you all sort of begin to look at one another. And with Talia and Toby's passive perception, you can still see a faint green glow coming from Dorian's body.
Just their passive perception, or wait?
Just their passive perception.
Okay. Yeah, I'm busy with my guy.
I'm gonna use the rings and just say, Bloom, I'm tapped. I have no magic left.
Well, we're done. We're all done, right?
The runes.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna yell out to our cleric friend. He's down, but it's still going.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts on Dorian to see if there's anything going on in there? Like just a second level Detect Thoughts.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, as you sort of try to probe into Dorian's head, it's odd. You feel more than one presence within inside his mind as this green glowing energy begins to pulse. Almost.
Fuck, we just killed the host that was rejecting the parasite, essentially. Okay. Is it a familiar presence?
Not to you.
Toby, there's something else in Dorian. I think we may have just killed the only person keeping it in.
I'd like to kick Dorian's head.
Okay. You lob your foot into the side of Dorian's head as it cracks to the side. And with his eyes still wide open, suddenly there seems to be a green glow coming from his eyes.
Yep, there's something else.
Oh, that's creepy.
I'm gonna
Should've
use
used the stick.
Mind. I'm gonna use Awaken Mind.
On Dorian?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know if maybe it'll work. I don't know.
You attempt to open a connection within Dorian's mind, and again, you feel two presences there. What do you say?
Wait, is Dorian's presence still there?
You can feel that his presence is still there, but there's also something else within his head.
Hello?
Just for hands, hello. um,
What do you say?
fuck. I know you're in there.
Do now.
Yeah, there's something else in there.
Is
As
it talking to you?
Yeah.
What is it saying?
It's kind of snarky.
as
Well, you do
all
that
sort of-
best.
As you all sort of convene over Dorian's dead body, you can still see this glowing green aura emitting from his hand, with a slight green aura emitting from his eyes. He's still down, but you can see this aura sort of growing a little bit, almost as if it's pulsing.
Well, I've got our cantrips.
Uh, man,
I
don't
mean-
even-
He's dead, right? Can you give like a health check?
Medicine.
Yeah, a lot of my things don't work on dead people, weirdly enough. I'll try, I don't know, a detect magic?
13 on a medicine check. Like, does he have a pulse? Is he dead?
With a 13, you cannot detect a pulse. But as you see, this sort of magical aura begins to pulsate, and as it does so, it begins to grow wider and wider surrounding Dorian's body before it eventually begins to. This aura is stretching out first a foot around his body, then 2 feet, then 5 feet, as it begins to hit another glowing pulse erupts from Dorian's body, knocking you all back. As you are all knocked back, you begin to hear this sort of ringing in your ears. And as you look back from the split second of you being knocked down, you see Dorian's body fully standing. But, however, as you look at him, you notice this isn't the same man that you were looking at before. This isn't that same sad, desperate man you were looking at before. His posture is completely changed. His smile is a little bit too wide, as he's smiling down upon you all.
Who are you?
What did you say, little one?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm afraid you might know that answer already.
I'm afraid I'm not from around these parts. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, unfortunately, I may have been the one teasing poor Dorian.
Okay, you can go home now.
Oh, but it's so cramped in here. It's nice to be Out to where the people are.
I don't care.
Wait,
Oh, this is Pan-Euro, I think.
where is home?
Amongst all of you, isn't it?
No, I mean,
No.
originally.
Originally, it was here.
No, I don't think so.
Does he look like the armored person that we saw in our dream?
He looks like
Same.
Dorian.
He just looks like Dorian right now. Wow. Sorry, go ahead, Toby. As you see him sort of rolling his shoulders, rolling the head, getting in a stretch. While Dorian may have not have been to accomplish what he wanted, he has still accomplished something.
Awakened mind. Talia. I think Dorian was trying to help his family in his dying breath. Do you think this guy might be Pan-Euro? Do you think you let him loose?
Probably.
This is very bad. I don't think we could take him.
Pan-Euro thinks he knows chaos.
Oh, I'm not loose quite yet.
How can you hear this? This is between Talia and I. Excuse me. It's very rude.
Oh, I just don't like secrets being kept.
You see? I know secrets very well. You can just go back into your little box now.
Aren't you from a different plane?
Well, let's see. I was originally created from this plane before I was locked away.
Huh.
But it got so cramped and lonely in there. I figured, why not get a little bit of company? Some company that would cause someone so loving and caring to do something so desperate.
Because he was weak.
What did you do
Weak?
to his family?
Oh, nothing yet. Nothing yet. See, he thought he found a little workaround. But all this magical energy all in one place? Oh, that's gotta cause for a little something now, doesn't it?
A little chaos, perhaps?
Just a little bit. And in this moment, you can sort of see Dorian's body again with that too wide of smile. You can see a singular horn on the side of his forehead begin to grow and curl. He might have not accomplished what he wanted. But still, it was something. Just enough energy. to cause that break in the veil. It just might require a little more effort on my part.
And what were to happen if this vessel of yours were to be completely disintegrated?
You see him sort of cock his head to the side. Oh, it might cause some complications, but again, that veil was thinly torn. Making things
What if we were-
slightly easier on my part.
What if we were to trap it instead?
I'd like to see you try.
How much ether is around us?
A lot. It's hard to quantify the amount, but there is a lot of ether surrounding you in this moment.
I'm gonna back up slowly towards some of the ether. A large cluster of it, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna reach into my pack and pull out a rolled up piece of paper. And I'm trying to do this surreptitiously if I can.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Sleight of hand, +2. That makes that a 17.
Okay.
And I'm going to unroll the scroll of banishment, rusted against the pile of ether, and point my finger at Dorian.
Okay.
I don't know what this ether is gonna do. I don't know how much I have at my disposal. The scroll of banishment says, you attempt to summon one creature you can see within range to another plane of existence. The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be banished. If the target is native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to a harmless demiplane. While there, the target is incapacitated and remains there until the spell ends, at which point it reappears in the space it left. If the target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you're on, the target is banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane. If the spell ends before 1 minute has passed, the target reappears. Otherwise, the target doesn't return.
Okay. What is your spell save DC right now?
16.
Yeah, they
With
did
the
that
ether,
how
it'll
fast?
make it a 17. I'm going to roll. What does it look like as you attempt to cast banishment?
One hand on a scroll on a glowing green rock. One hand pointing at Dorian. A small little hexagon appears at his feet. And then it's surrounded by hexagons. And then it's surrounded by hexagons. And then it's surrounded by hexagons until it is encased his entire body.
As you cast the spell and the hexagons upon the shapes begin to appear and surround Dorian's body, you see him flicker for a second, as if it almost works. And then the shapes disappear as his body is still standing there.
And the
And
scroll
his head.
burns.
And the scroll burns in your hands. As he begins to turn his head to look at you. Oh, Toby. That was a good try. It really was.
Worth a shot.
You're so smart for such a young child. Now you see, I have some work to do before the double eclipse arrives. Now, let me see what I can do with this vessel. As he begins to reach his hand upwards and slams his hand on the ground with this concussive wave of magical energy bursting outward from his point of origin. It blasts you all, sending you all back 10 feet, knocking your heads on the ground as your vision begins to grow blurry and this ringing in your ear begins to grow as your vision all begins to turn black. As this ringing in your ear grows and grows before it again goes all silent. Toby, you're brought back to a memory on a boat, sailing clear, beautiful skies. And then the waves begin to pick up, and they begin to grow, and this rise of panic begins to grow inside of you before you see these rolling clouds on the horizon. Talia, you are brought back within familiar walls, and you can hear people calling out for you, people looking for you. You can hear the clanking of metal armor echoing around in these chambers. Bloom, you're brought back to a familiar room. You can see artifacts lining the walls, books lining the shelves. You can see scorch marks on the floor. And then all of your visions slowly begin to return to black. As your eyes begin to flutter open, you don't know how long you were unconscious for. Toby first awakening, then Talia, then Bloom. All sort of beginning to look around at one another in a state of confusion, concern. This concussive wave of magic as you can see the rocks of ether beginning to almost cool down in a sense as their glow begins to diminish. Bloom, you look down. Your legs are a little bit longer than they once were. You begin to look at your hands. They seem a little bit larger than they were before. And as Toby and Talia begin to wake up from this unconsciousness, Bloom, I would like you just to describe how you look now, aged 10 years.
I look at my hands. And my clothes barely fitting me. And I instinctively just reach up, and instead of feeling horns that are like a couple inches long at most, they're long, like a foot tall. My hair is about the same length, but a little curlier. And then just instinctively kind of touching my chest. And then I immediately panic and start looking for Wither.
Wither is still there on your back, underneath you.
I'm gonna take out Wither. Hello? Wither? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
Just you are fine?
Everyone else is fine. It seems like that blast of arcane energy might have done something.
Nothing to you. My luck. I'm gonna turn back to Toby and Talia and see if they're awake yet.
Toby and Talia, as your eyes sort of flutter open after that massive arcane blast, the ringing in your ears beginning to subside, sort of looking around at each other. You're all still conscious, you're all still breathing. But as you look, Bloom doesn't look the same as she was. This is not the same little purple tiefling that you had been traveling with.
Well, Bloom? Is that you?
Yes. Yeah, it's me.
Whoa.
What happened? How long were we out?
I don't know. But a year ago, I made a really big mistake. And because of me, some people died, and I tried to fix it. I haven't been honest with you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not 10 years old. I'm 19.
You've always been? I mean, since we've
before we
known you.
met, yeah. Wither wouldn't let me tell you.
The creepy doll?
Yeah, but the cat's out of the bag now.
Why?
I'm gonna look at Bloom. Or not Bloom. I'm gonna look at Toby. Just Toby, I'm so sorry. I know you must feel, both of you must feel really betrayed. I'm really sorry.
I'm gonna walk up to Bloom. Gonna hold out my hand for hers.
I'll put my hands in his.
And I'm gonna yank her down to my level. I'm gonna bop her on the head.
Deserve a lot more than that.
I don't care how old you are. I'm upset that you lied to me, but I don't care how old you are. Are you still my friend?
Of course.
I think Toby has a point. We all have our secrets. What really matters is if our loyalty and how we feel to each other has been true, or was that a farce?
It's true.
Well then, we've got some giant butthead to find and stop. And maybe get you some new clothes, because this doesn't look like it fits so comfy anymore.
It's awful. Yeah.
Here, I know they're probably nowhere near your aesthetic, but for now, until we get to town, and I get into my bag and I pull out some of my finery that I have in my bag.
I'm gonna kind of awkwardly put it on, like, over this dress. And then kind of like shimmy it out from under it. Thank you. I'm gonna look down at Wither and see if there's any indication that Wither is angry right now.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Dirty 20.
You can tell that Wither is not very pleased in this moment. Whether that be... It's not that he's unpleased with you, just unpleased in general. But you can sort of feel that aura of this wasn't how things were supposed to go.
I'm gonna use Awakened Mind for Talia and the rings. The ring for Toby. Wither can't hear me say this, but there's a reason Wither didn't want people to know how old I am. It's because the spell I was casting was far beyond my capabilities. And it went very, very, very wrong. But my mom was dying, and I just wanted to do something to save her. And that's kind of why I can't get rid of Wither. I was
Well-
trying to cast Soul Cage.
Is your mom trapped in Wither?
Yes. And so is Ashira now.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
how? Why?
She was dying. I was just trying to buy time.
So she's the reason why we couldn't get her healed.
It's the reason why her body is still alive. Yes.
But so now that we know where she is, a cleric can help us, right?
Speaking of
We just-
cleric, where's the fire ganassi?
She is still unconscious on the floor behind you.
I'm gonna run over.
We just
Try and wake
killed
her up.
Dorian for not making sacrifices for the greater good. I don't know what to do with Wither now. I've been trying to figure that out for a year. Because if I destroy Wither, then I destroy the demon, but I also destroy everyone else.
Demon.
Yeah. It's a long story.
But in regards to Ashira specifically, we know where her soul is and where her body is. It's not trying to bring her back from an unknown. It's reuniting one with the other. In the case of Dorian and his family, this entity took them in their entirety. It's much more complicated. Same as your mother. Your mother was dying. And do you know where that body is to try to reunite it? And how long has it been gone? Is it still in a state of subtle consciousness the way that Shira's is? There's a lot of factors to pull into place here.
We can't let the doll hear us talk about this. Wither has to think you guys don't know anything.
Why?
Because it might be trapped in there with my mom and Ashira. But my mom and Ashira are also trapped in there with him. and he is stronger.
It's okay. Deception is something I do well.
I'm just so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say anything earlier. I felt really bad. I had no idea what I was going to do. I just did the only thing I knew how because Ashira was going, and I couldn't let another person die trying to protect me. But now you're talking about Dorian and sacrifice and greater good and I
I'm just
feel
gonna
like
reach
I'm no
out and
different.
put my
I'm
hand
just
on Bloom's shoulder. Shh. You are different. Dorian is a grown adult with many, many, many years of magic under his belt. At 19, you are yet not nearly close to being an adult, as I am just nearing adulthood myself.
Aren't you old?
To your people, yes. But
People.
nearing on 70 years around the sun is nothing to my people. I am just nearing on my name day, and coming into who I was meant to be. That's a scary thing. And Bloom, you've not been on this earth long enough to know what is right and what is wrong. Dorian had been. You are not to blame here. You are a child still. Merely a teenager. There's no blame there.
death. It's so complicated. I don't think I understand why it feels bad. My parents, they never talked about it like it was bad, but not seeing someone ever again, ever, it's not just a spell component. And when was I supposed to learn about that? When was I... My dad's completely gone. There was no saving him, and I just have to think about that forever, and I have to worry about you guys, and now Ashira.
I'm going to pull an apple fritter out of my pack. And I'll walk over to Blue. I'm gonna offer it to her.
Thank you, Toby.
I'm sorry that making you worry is hurting you so much. But I worry about you too. Because I care about you. And I would be very sad if I lost you too.
I'll take the fritter. Thanks, Toby.
It's a little stale, admittedly, but...
I'll take a little bite, though.
And I'm gonna give you a hug.
No.
Unfortunately, where I'm from, I don't know a whole lot about death. The elderly in our community have been around for centuries. And by the time that it's their time to go, they're ready. Our dangers come from outside, and not many get through our barriers. It wasn't until I started venturing with you that I started to understand more, and admittedly, it's still very foreign to me. I view it very differently than you do. I can't imagine losing people that I care about that much at such a young age. I guess the closest that I could get to that would be losing Ashira.
We'll just have to try to get her back then. I'm sorry again.
No, I am sorry for bringing so much death in front of your eyes.
Death is one thing I've had in front of my eyes very often. It's just never been like this. It's never been... My family, they've always celebrated the residual life that remains after a death occurs, you know, necrotic energy as a not as a veil of darkness, but more as a celebration of the last remnants of a person's being. And I cling to that so hard that I don't know what to do when it's gone. And it's just a body.
Everybody's light eventually fades. Even if it takes 1,000 years. It's just the way that energy works. I think what's most important is how we honor that energy once it's gone.
Grieving's not my strong suit.
This is how loved ones who were beloved by many become demigods and gods, right? Through love and adoration, remembrance. means if one were to be forgotten, would that take away their power? I wonder if that would work for this entity we're fighting. If we can get people to forget them.
It's not a bad idea, right? It works with nightmares.
Isn't that kind of what he was doing to the other gods?
Yeah.
Damaging the things that gave them power?
Yeah.
Taking away the things they love the most, they cherish the most. Desecrating their temples.
I've never known a lot about the gods that are served out here. But I do know from the stories that I've heard that a mere mortal can become a god through remembrance and love and adoration. So the same should be true on the opposite, right? That only makes sense.
We're gonna need a cleric.
Yeah. One that's not trapped inside of it all.
Or unconscious on the floor right there.
She might be easier to wake up.
Weird suggestion, but I wonder if there's a way. Wonder if there's a way that we could take. And I know this is bad, and we shouldn't just lean on it like a crutch all the time. But what about? Do you think there's a way that we could get enough ether to amplify a mass suggestion enough to make people completely forget about Kanstos?
That'd be a lot of ether.
Anstos or Panura?
Go big or go home.
Both?
Yeah. I mean, Panuro, doesn't he thrive off of, you know, nightmares and fear,
Chaos.
chaos?
Which not. Chaos isn't necessarily bad. It's the type of chaos that matters.
I don't know what the plan is. But I know that we'll do it together.
I don't know about you guys, but at least when it comes to Ashira, with her, my mom, I think we need to find a temple for the goddess of the afterlife.
I didn't know there was one, but okay.
Been reading a lot of those books in a lot of the libraries we've been going to. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've tried to cheat death long enough. Maybe we should know what our options are, and if there isn't any, maybe we could try to deliver the souls peacefully.
Let's go find a temple.
All right. You all begin to gather yourselves, clean yourselves up a little bit, and begin to walk out of the depths of the temple that you were once in. As you guys make your way out, the sun... Sorry, go ahead, Rima.
We didn't loot Dorian. I know he has good shit.
His body is gone.
Ah, fudge. You're right. He is gone. The cultists didn't have anything, did they?
They only had daggers on them, unfortunately.
Can I shove them into the body bag of holding?
Of course.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. Continue.
So you all begin to make your ways out of the basement of the temple that you were in as you guys begin to step out into the daylight, the sun blinding you as you first exit. Setting out on the journey ahead of you to recover Ashira, Bloom's mom, defeating the demon that seems to be inhabiting Wither. Setting off on the next foot of your journey. That is where we are going to call it for this evening. As we wrap up with the season finale of Queer and Peasant Danger. I would like to thank everybody so much for tuning in tonight. I know it was a pretty heavy session, but I want to thank everybody who stuck through it. And make sure to follow us on our socials to tune in to when we return. So I want to, again, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Tomorrow we do have Investigation Check, and then next week we are back with Forging Fates on Monday. So make sure to tune in for that. Follow us on our socials to stay up to date on our schedule, and we will see you all next time. I just want to say I love you, and we'll see you later, geeks.